Hello people, what is up? We are back and we are ready to make some more fishies. We're gonna make another fishy. I didn't think this one was gonna get that popular, but fishes have been getting like a popular thing to view. So let's just make a second one so you can make a variety in case you're making it for a game or just for an art project or an animation or whatever you may be doing. Let's make you a second one for you can make a second one. Maybe we'll look at stepping into the details a little bit further. We'll see what happens here. I always just kind of go by feel, and I never plan my videos out. I just kind of open Blender, I start taping, and then I just kind of go. And then I decide, and I let you guys know, hopefully at the beginning. So we're just going to start with that, and the reason we're going to do this is just to make some vertex. So let's go with 5 or 6. That's usually what I go with. I don't want to have too many in a game, and I don't want to have too little. So let's go back. Alright, and we're going to do that again, the Control B in edit mode, and I use tab to get to edit mode, in case I didn't explain that well. Alright, so we have made a perfect ball. Perfect ball of fish. Let's flip back out of that mode, because when we scale, if we scale, we want to scale in this mode, right? Because scaling in the other mode can run us into other issues, like moving our pivot point, things like that. And although it's easy enough to put back, it's just one thing you want to try to avoid anyways. Alright, so let's try to make a different fish. Let's make this fish a little more rounder. So, if you're making it with me, just go ahead and kind of follow along until you find a shape you like. We're going to make a fatter type of fish, keeping in mind. So try to make that with me. Let's go ahead and make a fishy... where should we start? Let's make a fishy tail, but not attach it yet. So again, Shift A. What should we make this out of? Let's make it out of a cube, but let's not round it this time. Try to act surprised I used a cube, guys. That's all this guy uses is cubes. Why? Alright, thin it out a little bit. Get to the perfect shape you want, but hide the square into the base of the fish, like so. Okay? This is going to be the biggest thing. You might have to move it around a little bit, not a big deal. Grab this face up here on faces, of course. Click off, grab this face, stretch it out. Starting to get it. Okay, but what are we going to do about the middle of the tail, you're thinking? There's 2 ways we could do this. We could make another shape, and we can punch that shape out, and it'll give us a really smooth edge. Or if we're looking for more of a sharp look, we'll go back in edit mode, we'll click off everything, we'll push Control R. Alright, we got this now. So let's let go of it with right click. Let's click off everything. Click this, this, and this. And the reason we're doing this is we don't want to grab that inner edge. We just want to grab those 3 edges. Otherwise it's going to give us an odd shape to the whole thing. Go in until you're comfortable. Are you happy? Is that what you wanted in your tail? Only you're going to be able to tell us that. So now we still have edges. Let's grab that one up there, letting go of the other one. Then Shift left click to grab this one. And let's just bring them together a little bit. Like so. That's what I like. You're going to make yours your way. Maybe you don't want a sharp tail this time, actually. Let's experiment with that. Add a little more detail. Control B here. And we can just kind of round it until you're happy. Tell us when you're happy. You know, you decide. And then stop when you're happy. Is that the look you want? Only you can tell. Again. Alright, so one more thing we're probably going to want to do is grab here. Let's go to faces actually. Grab here. Control left click. Control left click. Okay, we've got most of this, right? We've left out the outer faces. And hopefully, unless I messed this up, which I might have, but I don't think I did, should be able to taper the back end. Like that. And we're just giving it a little bit of shape. Perfect. Now, it does look a little funny there, actually. So let's flip back to the other mode, and we'll just kick it out just a little bit. Like that. That looks pretty good. Alright. Let's do some more fins, I guess. We'll start off that way. Let's make another square. And we're just going to start with our squares because we're going to be able to shape them how we want before we curve them. So, for example, if we grab this edge by going to edges and grabbing this, and we drag it right over, something like that, right? I assume that would be about right. And then we grab that edge as well, and then we Control B. We can not go in too far, of course. We can go like this, and we got more of a fishy fin shape again. And I've got to say, this is fun making fishies. They're so cute. And the more and more you make them, it's like, oh, as they're getting finished and closer to finish, you're like, oh, he's so cute. Makes you want fishes. Alright, let's make them look a little different than we did on the last one. I believe the last one we used some sharper edges and stuff like that. Instead of just putting one on one side, what we're going to do... Alright, we're going to do this first. Let's get these up though. And then we're going to Shift D. And we're going to do a minus beside here. I'll just start getting my glasses. I can't always see. Alright, now let's figure out which angle to change here. Why don't we try 5? What did that do for us? That went the wrong way. So we'll just go back 0 there. 5. That's the one we wanted. So let's do 15. Okay. Do this one. 15. Minus 15, actually. Because it's the opposite, right? So again, now we have some fins on either side. Now, say we want to use these for swimming fins, and we want them up higher a bit. So let's try to do it together and see what happens. Oh, that's weird, eh? Maybe gonna have to grab them one at a time. Now that we have the height matched, just gonna drag that. Oops, grab the wrong one. Kind of drag that until you got them about the same. And you're happy with your fishy. I think he's looking really cute. Good job, guys. If you got something like this so far, it's going to be really good for your game. Now, if you're making something like a carp or something like that, this is like almost the perfect shape, I would say. I'm going to go a little bit farther ahead, and we're just going to make them not so fat by just spreading them out just a hair, down a little bit, down this way. But we got a general like carp type shape, a really thick body fish. Maybe we'll move those up together. Just a little more forward. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Oh, that one's out. We're going to have to move that one in a little bit more. Like that. Is this fish no longer centered? No, it's centered. Okay. Maybe this one just like that. Just to make sure they're in his skin. Right. Okay. We have a pretty good looking fishy. He definitely needs a few more things, obviously, so let's work on that. We'll make one more square. And I hope you guys are having a lot of fun following along with me. I hope you can sense my personality and you're enjoying what's happening. We're having a good time together as we learn, knowing that I don't always make things right either, and I kind of learn as I go. I'm just using my imagination. If you guys got anything to say, if you've learned anything, just let me know in the comments. If you want to see something, whatever you're thinking, just let me know. Alright, so we'll grab this edge, probably drive that back. And there's another way we could do this to make it sharper. It's going to depend on the look you're going for, but I think we can just dissolve this now, and we'll try it just to see what happens. So we're going to dissolve edge, and it's going to give us a triangle, a perfect triangle, because we moved that over first, right? So if you're trying to go for like a shark type fin, that's probably more what you're going to want, is that angle, more so than what we did on the fins down here for their bigger, rounder edge, right? That's more like a swimming thing. This is more for like cutting water, but still have some issues. We can't make it like that, obviously, so we'd still probably have to round this edge and just find the right angle. Probably drag it back a hair like that when you're done, and then you'd have a pretty good sharky looking fin. Obviously that's a little too big, so we'll thin her up like that, and you've got basically what you need. You might have to scale it a little bit more. You scale it all together now, maybe, to get the look you're going for. Now, we're not making that type of fish, so we're going to make his a little smaller and a little more in proportions for the fish that we're making. I just wanted to give you some examples for you guys can use your imagination to be able to make your version of what you want to see in your fishy. Right? Now, I gotta say, he's already cute as heck. I just want to eat this guy. Wish he was a goldie fish. Alright, let's do... I said a little more detail this time, right? So we've got swimming fins this time to make them a little more realistic. Let's do... What will I do, huh? I don't even know yet. We're gonna find out together. Let's try to do gills. That would probably look pretty cool if we can pull it off. I don't know if we can, but we can definitely try. So let's try to do something like that, and something like that, and then a little bit shorter like that. Let's see. I went right through them. Sliced them right in half. Now we place them up by his head. And how would they curve? I try to, and sometimes I even use Google and I'll look up images of things while I'm making them. In this case, like, we all remember things slightly different, and you just want to make sure you're remembering things right. So I'm just going to grab the top 3 and the bottom 3. I think that works, and let's just try to gently go ahead and grab a few more and see if we can get it to go on a bit of more of a better angle there. Okay, let's not do that. Let's try this a different way. Let's just delete that. I'm going to make a new one and we're going to try again. And like I said, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up. Just be willing to find a new way. Don't give up. Keep on trying, guys. You got this. Your fishes are going to be even better than my fishes. And it'll be a great game, whatever you're making. It'll be even better knowing that you could have gave up, but you didn't. You kept on pushing through. Maybe you're not making a game. Maybe you're working on school. Maybe you're working on whatever. Feel free to let us know about it. Tell us what you're going through and if this helped you and how it helped you. And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Alright, let's use this to bool out of that. So, we're going to do the difference, okay. Now, we have our shape that we were looking for. We got it a different way, granted, but we have the shape we're looking for. Thin it out if we're looking to make it a little more like that. It's pretty hard to get to that shape, I gotta say, but maybe it'll be worth it. Maybe it won't even work at all and we won't be able to use it. We're just gonna have to try. Okay, when you are happy, come up here, guys. We're still in the shade viewport. I used the same one from my old fish one. Oops. That's the one. Just where you can see things a little easier. Sorry about that. Sometimes I reuse them for I don't have to rescale them. And like, especially if I'm doing fishes, things like that, I'll just reuse the whole thing. Alright, something like that. And then we'll grab 1, 2, 3, and we'll just wheel them in a little bit so they look a little better. Make sure they stay out. We'll grab one, Shift D, and hopefully it's on this axis. I always forget. Nope, that wasn't it. So just add the minus there, and add a minus here. This has got to be it. Perfect. Hit the second one, Shift D, the minus, and one more, and hopefully this is going to look good. If you need to find a new way to use it and it doesn't look good, I'm sure you can also just do some adjustments until it does. And since we haven't attached anything, we should be able to bool out of this with no problem. So let's give it a try. I left click, shift left clicked the rest, highlighting the fish last. Then we're going to go to Object, Bool Tool, Difference. And we have our shape, we have our gills. If you want them to go right into the fish, we can go to this mode and we can remove the faces if we want. So it goes right into the fish, but I think this is going to be a better look that it doesn't, because you could literally see right through the fish the other way. Probably not what you're going for. Now you can make those smaller, bigger. If you don't like them, you don't have to put them. That's completely fine. You can just undo now if you've done it along with me. And just pause the video until you're done. But we'll keep moving on because I do like them. I think they're pretty cool. Alright, fishy mouths. A few different ways to do fishy mouths. Probably the best is going to be the same as we did the top fin, basically. Flip back. No, I need to be on this mode and on faces. There we go. And it's going to be to shrink this until it's pretty close. Oops. Alright, something like that. And then if you delete one of these by going to edges, you got a triangle. You might have to adjust this a little bit because we took it out of the middle of the two. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe that was perfect. You get what I'm saying? Alright, we'll do the front. We're just going to take this down a little bit for it's not such a big triangle. Like so. And then we're going to flip to this mode and we're just going to go like so. Alright, and then we're going to put it in our fish. That sounds so bad. Put this piece into his mouth to make his mouthpiece. That's better. That's not so bad. Alright, depending how big you want it to be, how you want it to look, you can change your angle. I'm just giving you an example. Alright, we like that. Can I reuse this piece? No, let's not. Let's just make new ones. So we're going to grab this piece and we're going to also bool out of this piece. So it should be fine to do because we haven't attached anything. Difference. No problem. Got a big mouth fishy. Perfect. Good work, everybody. You're doing great. I'm sure even if your fish doesn't look exactly like mine, it looks really good. So don't get discouraged. And if you feel like you haven't done the best job, let's just finish the video with me. Just keep going, and we'll come back and we'll make it again. And you'll make it much better the second time, I guarantee it. Alright, so don't be discouraged. Alright, next move. I am going to go ahead and make another square. Now, I'll tell you a small story. If you guys don't like hearing them, feel free to say no stories, old man, and I'll stop. But when I first started Blender, I had the hardest time doing the simplest tasks. But I had a really super supportive family and friends who just kept on telling me, just don't give up. Just like things are going to get better. They might not look perfect, but they're going to get better. And obviously, I'm not the greatest artist on the whole planet. I don't claim to be. But I think I do pretty good. And that's why I want to encourage you guys to do the same thing. Is just don't give up. Stick to what you're doing. You're going to be fine. And make them a little bit thinner so they're not so bulgy, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sure you can kind of see it too. Just kind of like that. Make sure it's the right size for you. If you want them smaller, if you want them bigger, go with like that maybe. And then we'll just kind of bring it up a little bit like that, I think. Maybe you want to change it, but let's go ahead and duplicate it first before we move any of the angles, for we can have the same eye on the other side, right? I think I had a minus up here, if I'm not mistaken. I always forget. Yep, that's right. Okay, so now all we got to do is figure out how we want to change this. Maybe we want to angle it a little bit up. So let's try this one. Just going to hit 5, and it moved in an unknown direction, but it wasn't good, whatever it was. So we'll hit 0. We'll hit 15 here, just to see the results. Oh, you know what? That was almost right. Let's do 10. And I think we got it, guys. I think that looks really good. So this side, of course, would be minus 10. And we have the same eyes on either side. Perfect. Congratulations. Alright. Let's not attach this yet, because we said we were going to do a bit more detail. So let's see what else we can do. I'm just thinking for a second. Okay. Say you're a fish, you want him to have teeth. Let's do some teeth, okay? I'll just do a few teeth, but you'll get the idea, and you can place as many teeth as you need or want. You'd think I would use a cone, but I'm not. You know me. I'm a fishy. I use squares. Alright. Let's go to edit mode. You know what? Out of edit, no, in edit mode, yeah. We shrink top. Shrink the top, shrink the top. Make it a triangle by going to edges. Grab one edge, dissolve it, triangle. It's lean in one way, so let's just fix that. Alright. Let's shrink this. Now let's go tab. Let's go A, Control B. Maybe something like that. But actually, let's get out of there first. Let's not do that, because we're going to do something first to make the shape a little bit better for us. Sorry to undo again on you. Just going to make it more of a triangle. Okay. And so when we do the bevel now, it should be a little more evenly rounded like a tooth. Oh, I only had that one edge. I was like, what is happening? Okay, so I don't know how messed up this is. Let's shrink it down and find out. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. We're going to have to go back. Sometimes you got to leave more of a gap up there. So how do I want to do that? You know what? Let's try this. Oh, okay. Don't do that then. Okay, we'll go back. Alright, maybe we'll just try doing a little less. We'll hit A again and grab the whole thing. Let's do it there. Okay, and then we'll flip out of that and we'll do some sizing. S. Now again, it's going to depend what you want for a tooth. Probably narrower one way than the others, right? Probably a little less like that. So it's pretty pointy little tooth now. We'll wind her down, bring her back, wind her down, and we can start placing our bottom jaw once we get the right angle. So what we're going to need to do, and I'm just going to test and see what angle moves when I move this forward. I've seen what angle moved. It was this one, so I'm just going to hit 10. Maybe 15. Alright, that looks pretty good. So, when you're happy, bring your teeth up. Bring them up to the edge of the mouth. And when you're happy with the placement on that tooth, You're going to hit Shift D. You're going to go ahead and make the next tooth. Now, as you're doing these, Shift D, I can tell they're slightly out of place, but what I don't want to do too much right now is move them in the right rotation, because we're going to have to spawn them on the other side too, and we're going to have to evenly put them there. Shift D, because they're from all the same rotation and nothing's really been moved except for the side to side, Shift D, we should be able to just grab them all and slightly rotate them, or the ones that we want to rotate. So we'll grab those two together and just rotate a little bit. Okay? Take these two, just rotate a little bit. You can try to match the angle. You can put it on a precise angle if you want, but I think we're getting the look we want. Okay, so what else can we do? This tooth shouldn't be moved too much, so maybe we can change this to a 0. Oh wait, you know what? Keep it at 15. And then we'll go to the mover. We'll hit Shift D, so we have a duplicate. Now we'll take out this to 0. We will flip it 180, and we'll go up, and we'll do our teeth up here, and we'll move them out, and we'll move them up. All right. Maybe you're making a shark. I don't know what you guys are making, and feel free to tell me about it, but I hope this helps you. Just notice the fish videos are getting popular, so some people out there are watching them and hopefully getting some help out of it. And as you've seen, I just changed the angle back to 165, and now it kind of fits in here a little better. So, and again, we can just Shift D and just drag them to the right spot that you're happy with. Shift D, drag it to the right spot that you're happy with. This one needs to go back a little bit. If you want, you can move both sides together to make them completely in proportions, but I feel like moving them around a little bit randomly is going to make the fish feel more real. Normally I'd use exact proportions to try and keep them all in proportion, but I feel like just having different gaps and stuff is more like what a real fish would have. Okay guys, I've stepped quite a bit more into the details of the fish this time. Hopefully it's helped you a lot more, because you're able to make that much better of a fish if you're making a fishing game or whatever you're doing. Let me know if I've helped you and how I helped you, and if you're enjoying the series or whatever is going on, feel free to comment. Thanks for coming by, guys, and thanks for, oh, you know what? Let's slow down right there. Let's slow down. Let's do our coloring. I'm going to be so nice and kind, because I know you guys are going to want to color this, right? I want to color it. So don't go anywhere. Sorry to bust into I'm leaving and then not, but alright, let's get out of there. Let's grab all the fins. Configure it where you want to control it, and grab that piece last. So I'm going to make it my upper fin. So I'll grab my eyes, I'll grab my teeth, and I'm just, with Shift held, I'm left clicking everything I want to be held, and the very last piece is going to be where we're controlling the fish. So I'm going to hit Control J. Now this fish, as you can see, is controlled up here. And if you want to leave them separated, you can always go back to your edit mode, choose the pieces you need to separate. If you need the tail to move, if you need the fins to move, you just go L over it, you hit P, and then selection, and it'll separate. I know somebody was having an issue with that, so hopefully you've seen this, and this helps you a little bit, I hope. Alright, let's do some coloring. So make sure you're in the right viewing shade port, and we'll go here, and we'll start to color some fish. Let's hit A, highlight the whole thing, hit new, we'll make it a yellowy green color maybe. There we go. So We'll go tab because we were not in edit mode. We can't assign colors. Now the whole thing's that color. I'm going to highlight the fins. And depending if you want them to be the same color or different colors, I'm going to make all mine the same color. So I'm just going to make it one color. You may want to assign a few different colors. You would just need to do this with every single piece that you're doing. Plus, new, make it a new color. And we'll make it a bit weirder of a green. Let's do that. Right? Alright, we're looking like a fishy. Looking pretty fishy-like. Now, those teeth look pretty good, eh? Okay, let's do some eyes. Now, chances are you want your eyes to be white, right? So we'll plus new and just hit assign. Boom, our eyes are white. Gonna want to do our teeth. Click off everything. Push L, 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 L. Oh, I missed it. You can just undo if you misclick, by the way. Just right here. And then L, L, L. See? They expect you to make mistakes there. And we're going to go ahead and assign. Alright, we got teeth on the fishy now. Good job, everybody, if you're doing it with me. For some depth on this, we're going to try something here. Grab that, that, that. Make sure you're hitting shift when you're grabbing them. That, that, that. Alright, very good work. Okay, and we're going to go plus, new, and we're going to change this to black. And now, it gives our fish some depth. Maybe you want to do them down the sides. It's just going to take a little longer to grab, a little more, but you get the idea. And since we're on the color black, we can do our eyes. Now, maybe you want to make them looking forward. You just got to try to match them on the other side. I think I got that right in the middle. And I think I got those perfect, so then I just hit assign. Oops. Undo, because I didn't have the color clicked up here. Assign. Now say you want to make your eyes bigger, then you just highlight the ones around it. Say you want to make them rounder. Well, you're just going to adjust these until you have a perfect circle in the middle. Not a hard thing to do, really. I really like that look. I think that's a beautiful fish we got there, guys. Now, I'll cover one more thing, just in case you guys are trying to give it like aqua, camouflage, things like that. I'll give you an idea how to do it, but you're going to have to do it on your own. Highlight the whole fish. Let's go to faces, make things a little easier. And let's just give this guy a bit of coloring that's different, just to give him a different look. So we'll go we're just going to give them a stripe right up the middle. So we can go control, control, and we can grab all these at once by using control. There we go. And maybe we'll wrap it up right here. And again, I'm just showing you, you don't have to do this, but you're welcome to do it if you're trying to give your fish more of a realistic look. These are low poly fish, but you are welcome to make them as high poly as you like by doing things like this, adding colors and extra vertex, making them even rounder if you need to. So we're just gonna find a different shade of yellow, maybe. How about that? Let's see what that looks like. Obviously these aren't your final colors, but it's just an example, and now we've given that another color slot, so we can put two side-by-side colors that are really close together. And when we come out, we've got a fish with a little more color this time. If you want to make his belly, obviously you do the same thing. You can hear I bet you can just hear my control. Every time I hit it, it's just like boom, boom. Looks like I did that 1, 2 on that side. Just make sure you match them side to side, otherwise it's going to look funny. Count them. I got 5 side to side, that should be right. And then I just want to make his belly a little less yellow, so it's a different color this time, okay? So let's do like that. And then when we import it, we can assign new colors here and here and here. And if we all just want to make them the same, we can just assign them the same color. But we have the options now to make it a multicolored fish. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you're enjoying the series. Remember to like, subscribe, thumbs up. You could check out my game in the description if I'm helping you. That would be great. I would love to see the support of some of you guys checking out my game, and let me know what you think. If you got something you need help with, let me know in the comments. And if you've got anything you'd just like to say, let us know in the comments. Thanks for coming, hanging out with me for